You're recording.
Hey everybody, it's JJ, realitysurvival.com, and we're just out here screwing around today. Just did a little fire, practice making it with, kind of minimal materials, seeing how quick we can get it going and whatnot. And you'll see a link to it here on the blog site where you can go take a look at that video. While we're on the topic, though, we got out here today and I brought my my little flint and steel kit that normally I have. It's in an old shoe polish can that I normally will have a fire steel and a little piece of flint and some cotton, some charred cloth in. But when I got out here today, I realized that I had burnt up all the charred cloth last time I was screwing around or whatever, however many years ago that was, and didn't make any new. So since I hadn't had a fire yet, I was kind of hosed and ended up having to try to use some jute twine and stuff, which worked with ferro rod, but not so much with flint and steel. So anyhow, it brings us to a good point though, which is how do you make charred cloth, and why would you use it and all that kind of thing. So kind of like I said in the other video, I don't recommend carrying charred cloth and flint and steel as a primary means of ignition, but if you're just out screwing around and want to practice some primitive native techniques, then it's a pretty cool idea. And one way you can make it is you can use an Altoids tin, a shoe polish tin, or what this is this is just a little tin that I found at Michael's hobby store, and it's a candle tin, and they're just a couple bucks for a few of them, and they're pretty good for like putting tinder and stuff in. You can put cotton balls and Vaseline in them and lots of different things like that. And then I just drill a hole in the top of it. If you wanted to take a piece of duct tape and cover that over, if you had charred cloth in it, that's probably a good idea to help keep it dry, because these don't seal up super tight. But you drill that hole in there, that way you take a piece of cotton material. It can be any kind of cotton material. It could be from anything from your freaking sock to your bed sheet to whatever, something that's 100% cotton. What I like to use is this old military webbing, World War II, Vietnam era kind of thing. It's 100% cotton and it's real thick, and you get a thicker piece of cotton is going to hold a coal better, and it's going to work a little better for you. So all you got to do is just stick that raw cotton in there, and then put it in the can, and then take the can and just set it down inside the fire and let it cook for a while. And let me see that camera real quick. If you'll notice, the hole, you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not, but when you're looking at it, you'll be able to see some smoke coming out of there and all that kind of stuff. And once it, if I remember correctly, it's been a couple years since I've done this, but once it stops smoking, it's smoking pretty good now, then that's when you know that it's done. There's some of the smoke puffing out, or steam, whatever it is, moisture that's it's burning out of there. Once that steam stops, then that charred cloth is all charred and it's ready to take out, and it'll take a spark really well. And there we go. Yeah, and that's it. That hole kind of helps relieve some of that pressure as well. So that's the reason that's important. And the idea with this, with putting it in the can there, is that you're basically protecting it from the flames, because if you just throw the cotton in there, it's going to burn it up to the point where it can't really do anything. So I think we can go ahead and pop that out and take a look at it, Jeff, if you want to get it stick. Looks like it's done kind of smoking. It really doesn't take that long to get this cotton material charred. So we'll pull this out and let it cool off and see what it looks like. Okay, we'll be back here in just a second after this cools off. Okay, so there we have it. It's charred. Actually, it's actually burning a little bit. We probably need to put that out. Don't blow on it.
That's the whole point.
We'll have to pull it off. Alright, we'll put that out. We kind of overcooked it just a touch. Okay, so here's the finished product with the charred cloth. And just so you know what we did to actually get that out, to keep it from burning, because we kind of overcooked it just a touch, is we just took he's got gloves on here, leather gloves, so he didn't burn his hands or anything, and he just put the lid on it and then covered it over with covered the hole to suffocate the charred cloth, basically, to take away the oxygen so that it would stop burning. And then as soon as you do that, the cotton itself actually doesn't hold much heat at all. So you know, no big deal. So now we will play around with maybe a piece of char cloth and see if we can get that blown into flame using flint and steel or something. So there, we just stuck in some more char cloth there. Make another piece while we're out here dinking around. Now that the flames have died down, you may be able to see that smoke puffing a little bit better. Yeah. Alright. And as soon as it puffs out, then we...
You want me to grab it?
Yeah, let's take a look. I think that's probably good. Want to open her up? Oh, put it out still. Yeah, see it's glowing a little bit. So he's just gonna hold his finger if it doesn't burn.
Hear that sizzle?
the snow, or is that your glove?
My gloves probably have a little moisture on them.
So I just kind of hold it over it like that for, you know, a minute or so, and it should be good.
I had to go right on the seam because it's a little thicker.
Check it, see.
There you go.
And we're good. It's all
Beautiful.
done. I can go ahead and grab it out of there. You can see that it's not lit, and it's ready to go, ready to use. Or you can hit the background. Come over here and hit the background.
Oh. All right.
Good.
You are recording.
We're live. Okay. So there's our charred cloth, and all I've done is just pulled off a little piece of it here. And you don't really need much, especially if you've got really good dry tinder like I have here. This is just a little nest of jute twine. Really just needs to be right on the edge. Do it over or under. Kind of smashing my cloth there a little bit. Let me try putting it down. Just put it down like one there.
I don't think that wind's helping you.
Yeah, it's not. See those flakes coming off there? I may have smashed this up a little too much. Nice. All right, let's grab another piece and try again. A little better section here. Try it on top this time. See if that
I can see that if you're using thinner material, it'd be really tough.
can be, yeah, for sure. There we go.
Nice.
It doesn't take much to catch it when you do it right. You just got to kind of get everything situated. You're really not in any big hurry. You see that glowing?
Oh yeah.
Cool. Alright, so now we just take that and we'll just drop it down into our little jute twine ball. And really it doesn't take much usually to get this going. You can blow in it Sometimes you don't even need to do that though. Just kind of whirl it around a little bit. Sometimes that'll be enough to get it going. Just be careful you don't let it fall out. Close. Just about there. I'm gonna try to do it without blowing on it.
I'm ashamed. My hands are cold, JJ. Blow on that thing.
See the smoke come out.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll blow on it. Here. There. We had to blow on it a little bit. It's gonna burn me. So, that's a flint and steel and charred cloth. Like I said, it's a cool thing to know, but in reality, it's really not it's not something you want to rely on. It's finicky, and if your charred cloth gets wet, then you're kind of screwed. And you know, a good ferro rod, a good Bic lighter, some waterproof matches, you know, some good man-made tinder is really the kind of the way to go. And that's the things to keep with you if you really need to have a fire. But these skills are cool to practice. They're a lot of fun when you're out in the woods just screwing around. And you know, it could be something that could save your life someday if you just had nothing else. But to pack charred cloth and a flint and steel in your survival kit, to me, is kind of redundant. If you're going to have the presence of mind to pack something, why not pack something that works all the time really well? You know, like a ferro rod or, you know, well, Bic lighter doesn't work all the time, but you can usually get them to go, you know. So there you go, something to think about. Everybody stay safe. All right.